My name is Darrell Handy and live in Defiance, Ohio. Of course, I'm a graduate here from the college in '92. Worked at the tire plant in Bryan, Titan Tire for over 42 years and 3.5 years at the Chamber in Defiance as president, CEO. Married, had 3 children, 6 grandkids, so getting old, I guess.
Loving life though, right?
I do love life. I've retired and working part-time for Cooper Farms. It's just got a good life. Can't complain. You know, I came to Northwest State in 1973 originally, just to check it out. But, you know, both my parents died in high school, so I really had a rough life the last 2 years of high school. So I really wasn't ready for college yet. You know, the last year and a half of high school, I worked at night, went to school during the day. So it's kind of hard to get into college life then. But probably about 1979, I was probably about 24. I had a real good HR manager who was a friend of mine and a union president, 2 opposites, but both really encouraged me to go back to college. So I really started thinking about it. So I came out here and met with them, took all the tests, and you know, I was very low in my math skills and English skills because all I had done is work. I hadn't really used any of those skills. So I took the basic math and basic English class with Mrs. Laura Coburn. To me, she's probably one of the finest teachers I've ever had, even from grade 1 all the way up till my bachelor's degree. I took that and I took a rapid reading course from Virginia Hellwig. And those classes I use till today. That was in 1980. Took those 3 classes, and I use every one of them today in the business world, no matter what I'm doing. So that's what kind of brought me out here. And with the life I'd had, I wanted something in my hand. I didn't want to get 60 credits at a 4-year university, and something happened, and I wouldn't be able to finish and just sit there with 60 credits. I wanted to make sure I had a degree in my hand, and I knew after looking at the syllabus and everything, I was going to have a good basic understanding of a lot of good classes I was going to use in the real world. You know, I wasn't going to take a lot of fluff stuff. So that's what really drew me here. Plus, a lot of my friends that came here and said, hey, you got, you know, the real life professors. You know, they've been out, a lot of us been out in the real world. You had a few from academia, basically they're real balanced. And it's really a friendly atmosphere. When I came here, all we had was this brick building, one little brick building. Everybody knew each other. I had a wide range of students from like 18 to people in their 30s and 40s at the time. You know, I was 25. So it's really a good mix for me out here. I really enjoyed it. You know, really, it was pretty interesting. I had met a lot of good professors out here. You know, at that time, they probably wasn't that much older than I was, but they seemed older. But my experience was you came out here, you were going to school with a lot of people who was working in the workplace, even 18-year-olds who might have been going to school in the daytime, they're still working. So you all had all that camaraderie where, hey, you know, I work all day, I come to school at night. So, you know, you could relate. You could also change a lot of good ideals around. In fact, a lot of those are lifelong friends I have today yet. So, and it's been 40 years ago. So, yeah, that was my student life. I never really got involved really in the, you know, in the campus sororities or the fraternities or anything like that, because, of course, I worked during the day. But really, there was just a lot of good, people out here at that time. Even the professors, they were really real world. Just to mention a couple, like I had Dave Rand, who was a great Von Plesner, as we both all know. Guy just recently passed away, Tom Walsh. He'd been the plant manager and plant superintendent at Dinner Bell. All these guys brought a lot of real world. But not only that, I had a lifeline to those folks. You know, I could call them, even after I graduated, I remember calling Dave Rand on a couple issues. Hey, what do you think about this? They were always there to help. That's what really attracted me to this college. To this day, support it so much because I know those guys are there for me. And some of the women professors I had too, they're always there for you no matter how long you're out of college. You know, like today even, if I had problems, I know I could call over here. Bill Eichenauer is another one I had for accounting, cost accounting. If he can get me through cost accounting, he's a walks on water almost. But I could call him today, and I know he would help me any way he could. Same with Lisa Beecher, is a good friend of mine. Some of the professors you've had here now, Chris Robinson, if I had any problems with computers, I knew I could call her and she'd try to walk me through it. And that's what really sets this institution apart from some of the other ones. You got a lifeline there forever. To be honest with you, I went on and got my bachelor's degree, but everything I used in the business world, I got here. In my work, and when I was on city council, on the economic development board, everything I used, I got here. Because I think maybe because I got the nuts and bolts of my degree here, but that's what really made it good for me here. I used everything. I can go through my transcript here, Jim, and look at every class. I can tell you something about that class. Every one of those. Interesting, I just did it the other day. Looked at my 4-year, the 2-year. Every class I took out of here, I got something out of. And that's pretty remarkable, I thought. When I started at work in the community, I didn't do it for awards. I did it because I want to get back to the community. Like when I was on city council, that was just to get back to the community. I used to volunteer for Northwest State at business shows and the fairs. And I used to take my kids and make them work too. But really, it was just to give back. It wasn't to really earn awards, because I really wanted this institution to be successful down the road. And I've done that for a lot of different things. But I just enjoy being out among people, meeting people, and just doing good work. Well, I served on the 4-county Drug and Alcohol Mental Health Board for several years, for 9 years in fact. Did that. I served on the Defiance County Economic Development Board. I was one of the guys that helped start the Alternative Learning Center in Defiance, helped him get some money for that. There's quite a few things I've done that, in fact, some of the stuff I've probably forgotten about. But I was on the board of trustees here at this college, which has really took me full circle, from student, to a bachelor's program, to come out here and served on the board, and now the new award, which I'm very humbled for. I don't deserve that award. There's a lot more people did a lot more than I've ever done, deserve that more than what I do. But I just enjoy giving back to the community. Well, it means one thing. I think whoever's at the college at that time thought a lot of me, recognized what I had done, even though I didn't care about being recognized, but they did, and I appreciate that. And I'm very proud to be an alumni from the college. In fact, I recommend anybody thinking about education to come here first. Come and check it out. I even talked to brought my granddaughter out here to Discover Day, and it really gave her a lot of good things to think about. But I was very honored to get to Distinguished Alumni. It's been like 20 years ago. This new award, I never saw that coming. Never expected it. First I heard of it was when Phil McCartney won it. Phil and I served on the board together. Just a fantastic man. And when he got it, I was very honored to see him get it, because he really deserved it. He worked hard and had a tough life toward the end. And so when they awarded it to me, and the gentleman with me was Darrell Jones. He was a mentor of mine. He was a superintendent when my parents died. He's been like a dad to me. So to win that was really special, to win it with him, and to show that the college thought a lot of that, and I really appreciate that. Well, I think looking at my own self when I was 25, first of all, it was very cost effective. You could spend, $14,000, $16,000 and have a nice 2-year degree that you're going to use. It says it's going to sit on a wall somewhere, you're going to use it. I think secondly, you're going to have professors that you can reach out to, like I have for lifelong. If you've got a good mix between the academia and the people who's been out in the real world, and I think that's really important. Because, when I came back to school as a non-traditional student, I hadn't been out in the real world. So there's not too much they could tell me that was going to surprise me. So I think that's a good reason there to come to Northwest State. I think you can stay at home, still go to college, you can still work, go to college. To me, and it's very centrally located. We serve 6 counties now. Probably even more than that if you get into certificates and things like that. But at that time, we didn't serve Van Wert County. But now we do, so we have a good outreach. I think you have probably a pretty good job placement here. You've got a great working relationship with the industry around. So I know that if you're looking for a position, they can probably point you in the right direction. Plus, you have a lot of these business people who do the hiring, who are involved, running the companies are involved in this college. So to me, that's a great asset for us to have here at Northwest State. In fact, you have a lot of your faculty members here that actually have own businesses, so to me, it's a good mix for the college here. You know, you've really changed with the times. You've got now, you know, I remember when I came out here, you just had this block building. 1989, you did the atrium. Then when I was on the board, we got the grant from Governor Vonovich to build the engineering center. Then you built the CTS and the nursing center over there. You know, that's been added. So you've changed, you've adapted, the college has kept up with the times. That's huge. You got a nice, you've remodeled a lot of times, so it looks nice when you come in. And when you look like a professional organization, you're going to produce professional people. So